want you to do yourself a favor. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to take a deep breath, nice and slow, and I want you to let it out. Keep your eyes closed, and I want your mind to drift just for a little bit. Think peaceful, soothing thoughts. Maybe you're at the beach, maybe you're crafting, maybe it's just quiet, and slowly open your eyes. Okay? Now while you're relaxed and you're in that peaceful setting, I want to share this project with you because this is one that I use a lot. This is what I call my Pamper Me Feel Good pillows, and it's especially good if you're not feeling so well or if you got a little bit of aches or pains. So it's very easy, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Alright, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to download the free pattern from my website at lindapetersonlive.com. And essentially what we're going to make is a casing, like a pillowcase, and the pillow itself. So you're going to do just as the pattern says. For the casing back, you're going to cut 2 back pieces, just like I have here. And for the casing front, you're going to cut 1 from your pillow fabric. And then you'll cut 2 pieces, I've already stitched this one here, but you'll cut 2 pieces from a muslin or from the fabric that you want to make your pillow from. So let's set this part aside, and we're going to come to the casing back. Now what I've done is I made this kind of a tuck pillow, and you'll notice that there's stitch lines right here, or there's a fold line actually. And what you're going to do is you're going to fold over just like this to the wrong side of the fabric, and then you're going to stitch right along this edge on both pieces. And so I have that finished for you on these pieces. You can see that I'm using different fabric. I'm actually using pieces that I have left over from when I bought fabric from Heidi Borcher's water bottle project. So this is a fun project to mix and match your fabric. But you can see here that I have it stitched. And it is a little difficult to see. I have used black thread just so that you could see the stitching. But of course you are going to want to use the color of thread that coordinates with your fabric. There you go. There you can see it a little bit better. Right? So you're going to do those on both. The next thing you're going to do is with your right sides up, that's the color of the fabric facing you, you're going to match this area, this curve right here, because this is the area for your nose. So you're going to match that, lay that right side up, and then you're going to put your top piece right over the top of that and make sure that that is right side down. So I have wrong side, and on the back here this is the wrong side of the fabric, and you're going to pin all of those layers together. And generally I always pin the thickest section first. So there's 3 layers right here and right here. So you want to make sure you have pins here, maybe a pin over here and over here. Now you can actually draw in your stitch line if you want to, but what I do is I just line this edge right up with my presser foot, and that is my seam allowance. You're going to sew completely around the entire pillow. And when you do, it will look something like this one. And you can see again I've used a different fabric. So let me zoom in so that you can see. And as you can see, I have stitched completely around. Now what you're going to do, because we have this little pocket in here, you're going to actually turn this inside out. Oh, one other thing before I do that is I have cut the seam allowance and trimmed them pretty close to the seam itself. It's about 1/8 of an inch, 3/16 of an inch there. And I also went ahead and I double stitched this just to reinforce this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this inside out, or actually right side out. And you've made your casing then. Oops. There it goes. Okay. We have the front of our casing. Now you're going to do the exact same thing with the pillow itself, except this time, as you can see, I have stitched all the way around, except I've left an opening at the very top of about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. Again, you're going to trim your seam allowance, and you're going to turn this right side out. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to grab about 1 cup of rice. I use rice. Some people use beans. Some people use corn, like a grain type of corn. And but I particularly like rice because it soaks up the moisture. And if you would like, you can add a couple drops of essential oil to your rice mixture and let it sit for a few hours to let that essential oil soak in. And you're going to fill this cavity here with about 1 cup of rice. When you do that, and when you finish, then you're simply going to whip stitch this closed. Just use a simple overcast stitch and close your pillow. It will look like this one. Now, depending on how fluffy or how firm you like your eye pillow, how much weight you want, is how much rice. So you can adjust the amount of rice that you want to in your pillow. I particularly like mine pretty floppy, and this feels really good when it goes over your eyes. So now what you're going to do is you're going to come back to your pillow casing, and you're going to insert your pillow into your casing. And I'm not going to take the time to do that for sake of the video, but this is what it looks like when it's finished. These pillows feel so good when you have a little bit of an ache or pain, or if you have a headache like I do. Like I said, I use them all the time. And because I filled mine with rice, it absorbs the moisture, and that way if you want a cooling pack, you can put them in the freezer, and it will help retain, the rice will help retain the coolness longer. Also, you can put these in the microwave for about 30 seconds. I wouldn't do it for much more because we don't want your rice to burn. But what you have is a nice, steamy, moist, warm pack. So if you have any aches and pains, that feels good too. Also, I mentioned before about the essential oil. One of my favorites, and I know one of Tiffany's favorites, is lavender. And you can certainly add a couple drops of lavender essential oil to the rice. Let it sit for a little while. That's a very calm, soothing, relaxing scent. Also, if you have sinus trouble, I like eucalyptus because it tends to open my sinuses. Now, I'm not promoting any kind of medical or anything, but this is just something that helps me kind of feel good and kind of soothing when you don't feel so well and you got some aches and pains. So, I sure hope you will download the pattern from LindaPetersonLive.com and make a few of your own.